This comes under the heading of maybe it's never too late to do this, but I dug out my old, I shouldn't say old, my table saw guard that came with the saw. It's still got the sticker on it from when we moved here 15 years ago. And open it up, and out fell this bracket. It was right on the end here, fell out right into my lap, so it was probably pretty much destined for me to do this. What I want to do is add a splitter to my saw. I've never had one. I've never used that guard, and the big question would be, well, why start now? Well, there have been times where I wished I had something out here to keep the board from, binding against the blade. So I'm going to try and do this and see if I can get away with it. I've already started. There's a bracket that comes with this blade guard that mounts to the back of the trunnion here, and I've already installed it. 2 bolts and a couple of lock washers, and the thing you need to do is make sure that it's lined up with the blade. And I've got that as good as I can get, I think. It seems to be flush. So I checked it from both sides of the arbor of the saw. So it looks good to me. That didn't take any time at all. So the next thing that I need to do is figure out where this splitter is going to go. And my original thought a couple of days ago, or maybe probably a couple of weeks ago now, let me see if I can get this a little tighter here, was to just keep running this saw kerf back here and glue in a splitter that would be a part of the table saw insert. Well, the problem with that is I would only use it with this particular insert. So my next thought was, well, what if I add a splitter back here, which is what this is. This is designed to hold the guard with this bolt and this big old square washer. No lock washer, by the way. I think I'm probably going to I'll add that later here. Unless and I shook the box out, I didn't see anything in there. So that goes here to hold that, and it needs to be a little bit less than the width of the blade. So I think I'm just going to make it out of wood. I'll find something that matches up pretty well. Then I can put a little taper on the front edge, so as the wood comes through, if it does decide to deflect one way or the other, it won't butt into that thing. It'll deflect off it, I hope. So that's my next order of business here. Oh, before that, I have to figure out where this is going to land. So when I put my insert in, I can see where these set screws are landing are right on the front edge of these tabs that I have that hold it in place. So I know that that is here, and it's probably about a ½ an inch back to the to where this would be. So if I locate that about right there, I'll lay it down now. That's probably back a half. I'm going to give myself a little more room. I should go back just a little bit. Well, I don't even need to go back. I can always go back. So what I'm going to do is, instead of drilling this or making this with a saw kerf coming up from the back side, I don't want to ruin the integrity of this insert. So I'm going to drill a series of holes here, or maybe just make a slot and make it a little bit wider than this to allow the splitter to sit up through a hole, basically. I think that'll work. And the only time you're going to be able to use this with this particular insert is when the blade is at 90 degrees. So if I decided to tilt my blade and wanted to keep a splitter in there, I've got to go to the factory insert, and that's got that wider opening. Actually, I could use that as a template too. That would give me an idea where this would start. Yeah, that's probably about where I got it marked. It is. But you see, they go all the way back. Being metal, I think you can get away with that. Anyway, let's try this and see what happens. And if it works, I can cut out my other inserts that I have already set to go and haven't cut blade slots in them yet, but I can cut this out because it should land in the same spot, and I'll have enough leeway because it's slightly wider than an 1/8 inch blade. I think I might just go like 3/16 here. Alright, I had put this setup away yesterday, so I was interested in knowing how much time it would take me to set it up. Not including this part right here. It took me about 7 minutes, and with anything that you do over and over again, you probably get better at it, but that to me was pretty quick. So what I've done here is I'm not adverse to using double-sided tape, but because I'm doing a repeat operation, if I was doing hundreds of these, I don't want to be able to get this in and out quick. So you can see over here is my old step clamp that I can put in the side of the extrusion. Little spacer block to take up that room. 2 spacer blocks here. Here and here, just out of scrap. I just grabbed them and they randomly fit really well. So I can tighten this up, and now this is locked in here in both directions because I slid the outfeed table up tight. I do have a couple spacers underneath there that are taped to the bottom of this. I can show you that, I guess. Loosen that up. Just to keep it up a little bit. I don't think I even needed to do that, but the other thing that did was this tape gave me just a little bit of added friction along the side here because I butted this up before I put the tape on. So I've got this little bit of tape that's on both sides of the insert. So I put that in there, press it down flat, tight here, bring this tight, and then tighten up my step clamp. And now I'm locked. So I'll get my router set up, scan this, and place my slot right here, and then I can bring in my other ones and do them if this one works out, and repeat it and get them done in a matter of a couple of minutes. If you don't have a router like this, well, you can use any router, I guess, if you want. You got it set up with fences and stuff. But once you have it set up, you can repeat the cuts. The other option would be just to go to the drill press and drill a series of 3/16 holes and clean it up with a chisel. But like I said, I've got this tool and I like playing around with it. So I'll bring this in, change the bits, get things set up, and then I'll come back. Alright, I've located a slot 3/16 of an inch wide. I hope I'm in line with my saw kerf. We're about to find out here. It looks pretty good to me. Now let's just see if it falls within the parameters. I've got the line to start back here. I can always come back and make this longer. This slot is 1.25 inches, I believe is what I made it. Yeah, 1.25 inches. All right, let's go see if it fits and if the if my splitter will, after I make one, will come up through that. Okay, everything looked good except the length. I'm going to lengthen this by 1/4 inch, so it'll be 1/8 inch each way, and then we'll go back and try it again. So all I did there was just cut the extra 1/4, and then on my last pass I went all the way around, but it made it up. It mated up perfectly. It's going to be close. It appears as though I may have to widen this a little bit, but let's make a, let's see, that's going to be there. Yeah. Let's find a piece of wood and 1/8 inch this wide, drill that hole, mount it in there and see how it looks. Found a piece of cherry. It's thicker than what I need. I'll take it to my small parts planing jig and plane it to thickness, but there's plenty of room there to drill that hole, and then I'll cut them about, I don't know, maybe 1 inch above. Can always shorten them, but I should be able to get about 4 of them out of here, at least, maybe 5. I love that jig too. That thing is just almost right on the money. There's 120.5. There's 120.5. There's 119.5. I mean, that's within 1/1000th of an inch. Yeah, 1/1000th of an inch over the length of this piece, which is about 14 inches. You can't get much better than that. So I'll cut these to length. I'll figure out what that's going to be. Let's just see here. 14 inches divided by 4 or divided by 5 is, alright, it's a 3/8 inch hole for me. Then I got that washer, flat washer. Let's see how it goes together. I'm just going to finger tight it for now. Oh, that's great. That's almost dead center. I thought it was going to be a little bit that way. Nice fit, really nice fit. I probably could have gotten away with a smaller slot too, but that gives me a little room to get it off. Yeah, probably did need that extra length just to get it on and off. Alright, let me tighten that up. Then I'll simulate a board going through and see if I need to make any changes. See if we're lined up how we should be lined up. I'm not going to leave that square. I'll taper this a little bit. Let's just see here. Bring this piece over. There. That's going to be perfect. I like that. That's going to be nice. So it looks like it is just catching that edge. And I got a little gap on the back. But I can live with that. That, for my first run at it, I like that. Stiff enough. That might be a little too tall. But like I said, I can always shorten it. Alright, beautiful. I got the bracket lined up just right. Oh, there you go. My first attempt at adding a splitter to my saw. We'll see how it works down the road with projects I got coming up. I don't really have anything going on right now, but thanks for watching.